Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Empower Hour call. My name is Rhonda Swan. I want to really welcome you guys to this call tonight. I'm really excited. I feel extremely honored to be able to communicate and to share my vision and my story a bit with over 50,000 active affiliates here at Empower Network. We host this call every single Monday night for our grander scale, our huge community. I actually like to call them a tribe, but for our large community of affiliates here in Empower Network that are really looking to not only build themselves up, personal development, how to really learn how to build a business and to live free. I like to call them Freedom-Preneurs, right? Being able to live virtually anywhere in the world as long as you have your laptop. But also for many of you guys that may be looking in to see if Empower Network is the right business for you, the right connections for you, the right leadership group for you, and really the best foundation. So if you cover any of those, you are in the right place. I'm really excited to be here tonight and to get to host this call with you guys. So I want you kind of to hold tight and to really listen up. Take some notes. I've got here my pen and paper in front of me, and I always take notes with every person I'm listening to or books that I'm reading or audios that I'm listening to, because what it allows me to do is create a different perspective in what I'm hearing and what I'm listening to. Right? So what I like to do is as I go along, and someone might give a good nugget, whether it's a quote or an idea, or maybe there's something that I say has to do with my personal story, write it down. Because after you get done with this call tonight, I want you to really go back through these notes and really internalize what I say tonight. Because I tell you what, my life changed dramatically and drastically over 10 and a half years ago when I heard a call just like this. Many of you guys may or may not know my story, but I'm going to go into it a little bit tonight if you are open to it and if you're willing to listen, because I really feel that my experiences can change your life or to assist you in making a very powerful and a bold decision to do something different in your life. A lot of you guys may be either, at a breaking point where maybe you just left your job today, it's Monday, and you had a really crappy day. You had a really bad day. Your boss told you what to do, or you didn't hit a deadline, or maybe a bill came into your mailbox today and you owe a lot more money than you have at the end of the month, right? And I know all of those areas and those moments. In fact, I'm going to share deeply with you guys in just a minute of why I can really connect with you in those areas, because I was in a very strong breaking point myself over 10 and a half years ago, coming out of my corporate executive position. So why don't I just dig into that, guys? I'm going to give you some nuggets tonight. I'm going to really help you understand what Empower Network's about and to really get an idea of the type of people that you not only get to connect with, but the kind of lives you get to be part of. I mentioned that I was a corporate executive, and I actually got out of university, and I grew up with that Midwest values. In fact, I am from Michigan. I grew up in Michigan, a fireman's daughter, and my dad always told me, and many of you guys have probably heard this before from your parents, is they wanted me to grow up better than them. How many of you guys have families and your parents, or you're even a parent, you want your kid to grow up better than you, to make better decisions than you did in your life so that they can have a better life? I think that's probably something that a parent, has something always for their children. I'm a parent. I have an 8-year-old little girl. And I'm going to share with you how I made a massive decision so I could have her future, not have to decide to be a better person when she's 20 and 25 years old, but that she can grow up as a powerful human being, a contributor to society, and someone that makes very bold decisions for their life, so that she didn't have to do it like I did at the age of 30 or 32. I'm 42 now. Again, let me kind of dig back into here. I'm from Michigan, fireman's daughter. I grew up with my dad saying, Rhonda, I want you to make something of yourself. I don't want you to be a laborer like I've been. My dad was a fireman. He also had his own business, and they hustled. They hustled 24/7. My dad was working 24 hours as a fireman, and then he would come home on his 24-hour day off, and he would go and put in furnaces and air conditioners and work a separate side business to take care of our family. You know, my mom stayed at home, and you know, that's just what life was about. And I don't remember really hanging out with my dad. He was actually my stepdad, because my history of my family, my father was rather estranged. He had bouts of drug and alcoholism all my life, and I grew up, you know, looking at him going, I don't want to be like that. I want to be different. And although I love my stepfather and the way that he worked, I also said to myself, I don't want to be like him either. And so as I grew up, and he says to me, get a good job, right? This is what we're all told. You've all heard this. Get a good job. You know, get a retirement fund. You'll get insurance. You'll get a expense account, a company car, that IRA or that pension, right? That they all talk about right now in the USA, and they're pretty much becoming rather redundant. And I remember though thinking, okay, I'm going to do this. So I get my master's degree, I go all the way through college, and in order for me to make something of myself, my programming or my past sets of beliefs, or all I knew as I grew up with, was to get a great job. And that's exactly what I did. I got a good job. I was hired actually by the largest pharmaceutical company in the world. Next to Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals was the company of choice that I was hired for. So here I am, you know, this 25-year-old girl getting out of university, going to get my graduate's degree, my master's degree, and I'm hired by this huge company. And I was groomed to run the Western division of in California of this company, and to really become this powerful, bold, you know, really strong corporate woman. And so I started learning how to do that and really working hard. I became very successful, had a lot of great accomplishments, which many of you have probably done the same thing. But what happened for me is I actually started to find myself very empty. And a lot of you guys might be feeling this today. It's a Monday night, so you may have gotten out of work today and you're like, wow, I feel empty. I've worked my butt off. You know, your boss may have told you, you know, to come in early tomorrow, or maybe you have a deadline to make, or maybe the bills came and, you know, you don't have enough to cover your bills. I mean, I've been to these points. I've been to every one of these areas. Even though I'm working in corporate, I've been in these areas where I'm like, what am I going to do tomorrow? What's my purpose? You know, and I felt really, really empty. And so I started to make some decisions, some big decisions in my life of what I really wanted. And one thing that I realized is that my past programming is what has set up my full belief system in what I'm doing in business and what I was doing in my job. And the chain reaction really starts to begin. And what we believe in, guys, starts to determine our attitudes. It affects our feelings, affects our direct behavior, and it determines our successes or our failures. And I tell you what, at that point, you know, being in corporate for almost 10 years, you know, here I am. My husband, Brian, was an engineer. So, you know, we're both making multiple six figures. We bought this big, huge, massive house, and then we sold it, bought another one, right? Real estate was booming. And I've just turned 30 years old. And one day I walked in the hallway, and Brian and I, my husband, pretty much passed each other like ghosts in the hallway. I was hustling in the morning to go make breakfast and get my hair done, right? If you're one of these women that are a corporate woman, I had the matching shoes, the matching bags. My hair was done every day. And if you know me now, you guys will crack up. If you know me now, I certainly don't do that. I've been traveling now for about 7.5 years. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you know me now, you know my hair's probably pulled up in a ponytail right now. And I am in a pair of shorts here in Bali, Indonesia, because that's where I live. But let me bring you back to where I was that morning in corporate America. I got up in the morning and got myself done, walked through the hallway, big long hallway that we had in our home in La Jolla, California, $1.7 million home. You know, we had a couple Mercedes in the driveway. And I don't say any of this stuff to impress any of you guys, so please don't listen to me that way and judge me that way, because what I'm here to do is here to show you the perspective and the programming changes that I had the moment that I saw and witnessed something very powerful, and it changed my world forever. And I'm going to share it with you guys because I think it's going to assist you in either making a decision to boldly move forward in your life, or to make a decision to either get started here with us and with our company, or to make something bigger for yourself. So this is what happened. I get in my car. It was a company car. It was a Ford Escape. I drove that car an hour in traffic. How many of you guys drive an hour in traffic and you're ready to, cruise through traffic, and, you're jamming to the music in the beginning, and then it's like, stop, go, stop, go. And you kind of start to get pissed off. You start to get that annoyed feeling. And that road rage that they talk about so much is actually pretty real. And back then I didn't listen to personal development in my car. I jammed out on tunes. I listened to the news, and I allowed all these outsourced negative feelings and energies to enter into my mind. But more importantly, what started to happen is I started to dream and started to think, because I looked over, and here I see a woman in the car with her kids all lined up in the back of her car, in their car seats, in their seat belts. I just started to think about things, and here I am, 30 years old, and I'm wanting to have a family very soon. My husband and I have been married, and I'm like, gosh, looking at that, I'm like, what am I doing, right? So that just was a little vision that I had that morning. So I remember this exact morning. What I'm sharing with you guys right now is an exact moment that I actually had in my life. And I started driving to work, and I arrive in this meeting that I had every morning at 7:30. And my boss's name was Jane. And if for any of you guys have heard this, I want you to hear it again. Because what I like to always do is I like to take notes, and I like to listen to the emotions and what happens in people's lives to see if I can relate it to my own, so I don't either make that decision again, or so that I can make a different decision when something like this happens. So here I was. I'm arriving at our meeting. It was about an hour in traffic. I slide in about 10 or 15 minutes early, so I really didn't slither in. I kind of just walked in confidently with my hair done, my Louis Vuitton bag on my shoulder, my matching shoes, right, my suit, my stuck-up self. And I'm going to be the first to admit, who I was back then is not who I am now, which is awesome. And so here I am. I go walking in this room, and my boss, Jane, who had her hair done equally like mine, looked very similar, because Jane was someone that I was modeling to be just like in my corporate career. She had been with this company for a long time and really racked her way up into high levels of management in the company. I saw her, and I'm like, I want to be like Jane. I want to be just like her, because I wanted to have that label. I wanted to be like this woman because I felt that she had the life that I didn't have. And that I now was arriving because I'm not having the life that my dad thought I was going to have, like him. I'm going to be something. I'm going to take charge of my life. I'm going to be powerful and bold. And so here I was. That was that person that I walked in with my shoulders back, and I'm saying good morning to Jane, and I'm saying my contrived good morning to everyone in that room. Now, I know these words sound kind of crazy, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? That, hey, good morning, that water cooler conversation that really doesn't have anything. You really don't care about their lives, truly. All you do is really care about where you're going and what's happening for you. And you're just there to impress people. I remember recognizing that that's what I was really willing to do, is I was just looking to actually impress other people. And that is not the person that I wanted to become. And so here I go. I walk into this meeting, and something changed for me this moment. There was a massive breaking point that happened for me, and this is it. And this was the moment that I changed and made a choice to quit my corporate job of making multiple 7 figures, 6 figures actually, 7 figures total, but massive incomes, company cars, all the above. This was the day I changed everything. And this could be a day that you might be able to resonate as well. I witnessed a woman walking in to the meeting room, and she was late. She was about 5 minutes late. And she's the one that slithered in. She was trying to sneak in the back of the room. And my boss, Jane, yells across the room, "You're late." So what happens? This woman stands up and she pulls her shoulders back, and, "I'm so sorry, Jane, I'm sorry." She's like, "No, you're late." And so I see this tear in this woman's eye. I want every one of you guys to visualize this. Because we all have a reason why we're either here on this call, why you made a decision to start a new business, or you're making a decision right now. Something that you really desire and you have a why for. We call it a why here. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like, what is your why? What gets you going in the morning? What keeps you going when things get tough? And this woman was questioned by Jane. Why are you late? And I started to see this woman shudder. And she had a tear that started to drop in her eye. She's like, I'm sorry. Jane, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I have a brand new baby. And I just dropped my baby off at daycare for the very first time because I came off of maternity leave. I don't know how many of you guys just got a sick stomach, your stomach dropped to the floor. Every time I say this and share this story, the same thing that happens for me, my stomach drops to the floor. Because I remember this exact same moment. I remember the breaking point that I actually had. And she said, I don't care if you had a new baby. You need to be on time every day. And the woman just shuddered. She started to cry. She's like, look, the baby's brand new, 6 weeks old. I had to take her to daycare, and it was really hard for me to do it. And my boss, Jane, said, if you care about this job enough, you'll be here on time, you'll be at the meetings on time, and your baby will go to daycare at 7 in the morning, and we'll be picked up at 6 p.m. That moment, I made a change. I made a decision that day that all of this programming that I had been taught and shared with by my dad, that I should get this great job and I should have this return on investment or ROI and IRAs to retire with, changed. The programming that I had, the beliefs that I had, that's the only way I could make money, completely changed. Because what happened is that why that I was talking to you guys about got really, really big in my mind. Remember I told you I was driving the car on the way there and I saw this woman with children in the back car, in the back seat, and it made me think about how I wanted to have a family. And that's what happened for me. I went to that moment. I didn't even have kids at the time. My goodness, I was just been building my corporate career. Didn't even consider really kids at the time. Started to think about them. And that moment, something really hit me hard. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Is this really what I'm going to amount to? If I'm building up this corporate spine, this backbone, this ladder I'm climbing, what's going to happen when I get to the top and I decide to have a child? What are they going to tell me? Whose future am I building? So that day I made a big change in my life. I actually looked at that meeting. I looked at Jane in a completely different way. I lost a lot of respect for her. I mean, a lot of you guys might be going, man, what a complete, beep, B-I-T-C-H, right? If you want to excuse my French, but that's truly what it was. Like, how dare you be so heartless and so cold? This is a human being. This is a mother who has aspirations for her child, who has love for this baby. And although she's here to make money in this job, my gosh, give the woman a break. So I thought, man, if this is who I'm grooming to be, I want out. I want to get out of here. And that's what I did. I drove home and I told my husband, Brian, I'm quitting my job. I am quitting my job. And he thought I was completely crazy. And I think a lot of you guys might be in this moment, or maybe you started this business here with Empower Network and with the thoughts of, I'm quitting my job so I can be home with my kids. Well, I tell you, without even having a child at that time, I did. I came back to Brian. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to find a way to live out my dreams. And I tell you what, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. Here's this corporate executive, right? Master's degree, powerful woman that comes in to run a huge corporation, to now saying, hey, I saw a couple things online about the internet. I might have to peek into that. I tell you what, my ego was not too big to start peeking around, but my ego was too big to share with my husband what I was going to do. And so what I did is I actually typed in the words. Many of you guys may have done this because you found us somehow. Work at home mom is what I typed in. I wasn't even a mom at the time, as you know. And a website popped up. And the cool thing is that I remember listening to Steve Jobs, an interview that he did in like the 80s. And he was talking about the internet. You know, he was obviously the creator of Apple. And he was like, the internet is where our future is going to be. And he was envisioning people having, you know, these jobs where they literally could work from their laptops. You know, there's no more desktop, it's laptops. And people were like, yeah, whatever, Steve Jobs. Well, I really took that seriously, and I thought, wow, I saw that article that I read and listened to that interview come to reality very quickly. So I'm like, I'm just going to check this thing out and see what it's all about. And so here, guys, it brings me here right now to this business model, right? This company. And, you know, after being a corporate executive, making a bold decision, it came down to a few things. You know, what is it that I wanted? You know, I actually looked very deeply into franchises. I looked into building my own personal brick and mortar business. You know, I looked into a lot of different business models. And one thing that I found, and I analyzed every one of them, was I loved a franchise, first off, because the franchise was a way that can be systematized, right? So if I had a franchise, I knew that there was something that was already proven, because being a business owner, you guys might be, you know, business owners now, or you might, you know, be analytical minds. And what I looked at is like, okay, what is my investment into this business, and what's going to be my return on investment, right? How can I get from where I am right now to be making the kind of income that I want to replace? So if you guys are franchisees, this is, you know, kind of a pattern or method that I went through. I look at a franchisee model, and you spend, like, let's say it's McDonald's or something, $300,000 minimum to invest in a McDonald's. When you do that, you amortize it over like 5 years. And so maybe people, they take a cash loan out for like 300 grand. They may make about $80,000 a year. And after the 5th or 6th year, you finally actually break even. But what you're doing this whole time is you're still working 10, 12 hours a day. Now, that dream it's yours. You own it, right? So who doesn't want to work more hours for their own personal dream? But what happens when I looked at the model, I'm like, wait, I'm just going to be buying a more intense job, because you're still controlled by franchises. You put in investment of over, either it's a loan of 300 to 500 grand, or it's maybe your own money that you pulled out of your own house, but you still haven't really made any money, and you're not free. So franchise was the very first in the line. I pushed out the door, and I looked at brick and mortar. I'm like, gosh, that's going to take a big investment. I don't really want to do that either. And so when I went back to this idea of online businesses, my first thing was I got to look at the right model and find what happened, you know, what's going to really work for me. And so I analyzed a couple things. One was you got to look and see what's powerful inside of the marketplace. What are people looking for? Right now, guys, we are in the information age, right? We are in the information age. People are looking for not only ways to earn money, ways to get more information, ways to educate themselves, to grow, to blog, right? To share more things to the world so that they can become more free. And so the information age was powerful. I'm like, wow. So if in the marketplace, people are looking for more information, then I want to be there. I want to get in that place. And then I started looking into the business model, the type of business model that we're in right now that you guys are really looking into, which is learning how to be a marketer, really learning how to value yourself. And this is what I love the most about Empower Network, and why I've came from, this is the 4th company I've ever worked with, and this is why I'm here right now, is because of the type of products that we offer and the education that we give and the type of training. So when I was looking, I'm like, okay, I got to learn really how to get into this information product, you know, area. Well, at this time, guys, heck, here I am. I'm a corporate executive. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I don't know what to sell. I have nothing to sell at the time other than my own dream. I had a belief. I had a why. Remember that why I talked about earlier? I had a child that was in my eyes, but she wasn't even born yet. And so when I tapped into these models, I'm like, okay, it's got to be something people want. Well, blogging became really, really popular back in the, you know, probably like the early 2000s, really popular back then. And I didn't really know what blogging was. Well, then I started digging through, and when it comes to information, guys, people want to learn how to market themselves, right? Every small business owner, like take, for instance, a small business owner. I needed to understand how to be a marketer, right? So if I was going to have a franchise, if I was going to have my own small business, I needed to know how to get eyeballs, or traffic, we call it, on my offer or my business. And so what I loved about Empower Network, after going through a few companies, I went through two different personal development companies. I learned how to be a marketer because I watched very powerful people. I modeled after top marketers in our industry. I read a lot of books, and I literally put my credit card on my knee and would go through and just place ads and try to figure out this thing. So then after, working for about, I've been with Empower Network now for almost 2 years. I was kind of done with the industry, and then Empower Network popped up. I'm like, wow, it's information age. They are really delivering information. They're teaching people how to be a marketer. They're teaching you how to not only build massive influence, right, through communication, but to really be a powerful stance in the marketplace. And so when I was looking at the business model, I'm like, wow, this is powerful. We have not only our business model here with Empower Network is teaching you how to be a marketer, right? Teach you how to get more eyeballs on whatever it is you want. How to build and take a passion that you might have and actually turn it into profits. And you do that by first understanding what your personal why is, what your passions are, and using a blogging platform. Now, I didn't really dig into this at all, but after being, in this industry for 10 years, I've actually been traveling the world for over 7.5 years. After we got set in this business model and things started to work and, we started to rock it and do really well, we started traveling. And so blogging became a primary way for me to communicate to the world what my visions were, my passions were, and how to connect with my family, because we started traveling around the world, and I'm like, man, a blog is where it's at. So of course we started creating this blog, and then I get to Empower Network, I'm like, geez, they've done it all for you, because it was really difficult for me to set up my own WordPress blog and set up all this different stuff, and I really didn't know anything about it. And then I walk into this community of people after been blogging for like 5.5 years, and I see this full community of marketing, blogging, top income leaders of this industry, top online marketers were here in Empower Network. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? What have I been doing? I want to be part of this. So even back in the day, 10 years ago, when I started outlining business models, again, just 2 years ago when I decided to make a shift, Empower Network was the one that really outlined that business model, which had the marketing, had the blogging training, had the top leadership, and the personal development like we have in our Inner Circle product that helped me keep my mindset straight. So it was a massive shift for me on, really how to get there. And so it's exciting for all of you guys because, you're here because you're either making a decision or you've already made that decision, and what I want to suggest to you is kind of take a look at and write down the things that I wrote down. Hopefully you wrote them down. And what is it that you are looking for? Okay, grab a pen and paper right now. What is it that you're looking for in a business model? Or if you're already part of Empower Network, what is it that you found about Empower Network that makes you go, yes, this is why I'm here? See, because within our Empower Network product suite, we not only offer, incredible products that are wanted in the marketplace, and that's something, guys, being market and product driven is what we stand for. It's not about being an affiliate. In the network marketing industry, a lot of companies just really sell they sell the affiliate program so that people can make money. And it's really different when I dig about Empower Network and why, I am an ambassador for Empower is because they really are about product driven first. You want to be market driven about what the market wants. So we constantly change our products all the time. So we have new updated products that really help people go, ooh, that's what I want. Because you want that in a company, of course. But then you really want to have something that is very product driven that people want in the marketplace. Dave Wood is a masterful visionary. And, when he started creating this company, I don't know if you guys, know much about Dave Wood, but you should know this guy. He's probably one of the smartest, coolest guys I've ever met, but he's really intense. He's different. Him and I have this really funny relationship because he thinks I'm extremely intense female, which I am, right? But it's like the weird ones all come together in such a cool way, And so, when Dave started creating this vision about this company, it was like, okay, I want the best products. I want to have events that we hold every 3 to 4 months. In fact, I just left an event in Las Vegas, Came back to Bali, Indonesia. I host my own events for my personal team, but I'm going back to Orlando in October because we've got a powerful event, and I've learned that I never would miss an event, ever. I never miss an event because it's what helps me create belief, and it helps me build my personal business so that I can always represent to the people that I'm working with what's working now. So when Dave started creating this vision of Empower Network, it was top quality products, events that we can host every 3 to 4 months around the world so that people can come and connect with each other. Weekly trainings like this, here I am on, this is our Monday night call, but we've got trainings on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights. Typically Wednesdays are like a team, or I call them our tribe calls, where I connect with my personal people. But we've got new member coaching that happens across this whole company each week to help people really not only understand how to build their business, but understand how to do it the right way. So when Dave was looking to really put this company together, this is what inspired me to go, wow, this is powerful. This is why I want to be here. Coming as a corporate executive, how does the heck as a corporate executive, leave a 6- and 7-figure job to start online marketing? And then why did they end up here in Empower? Well, there's a part of the reason why I ended up here in Empower, and I want everyone to listen. Because if you haven't been listening or haven't been taking notes, this is when you want to start listening. Dave Wood has a powerful vision for creating Empower Network. And his vision is to build a business that's going to last in our industry for a very long time. Now, if I were to be my 8-year-old, she'd say forever, but as all of us know, that forever never really lasts. But it's the vision, guys, is why you choose a company. It's a vision of why you believe in something, let's say like Martin Luther King, right? You believe in a leader because of their vision. And personally, because I only can speak for myself personally, and all of you are going to draw your own conclusions. You're going to make your own decisions tonight. But personally, I want to work with a guy who's got vision, who is willing to put everything he's got inside of a business, even through the ups and downs, the tough times, and still say, I am here for the people. I tell you what, guys, having a leader and a company owner that is here for the people, that can build a business of over hundreds of thousands of people around the world, over 50,000 plus affiliates, and to still keep reinventing themselves, bringing new products in the marketplace, and inspiring people to continue for their dreams by creating a platform like our Kalatu Premium blog, which is what every single person, I think any business owner really should have, because it allows you to not only share your visions, but allows you to put what I call online real estate. That's what blogging does. It allows you to put what you've got, your thoughts, your passions, to the world forever. Now there's a forever, unless the World Wide Web decides to blow up, which is impossible to happen. But see, guys, when I chose, or when you should be choosing a company, it's vision. It's values. I love teaching, and I have a lot of students and people that I've worked with in the past, and values is probably one of the most important lesson that I offer to my students when I talk about branding, because I just really dig branding. I love people to be unique. I want them to stand out in the crowd. I want them to tell their story, and you do it in a different way. And how you stand out in the crowd is understanding what your vision is, what your values are, and where you're going. And initially, you may not have all of your own stuff. So what you do is you adapt onto a leader like Dave, his values, his vision, and you hold on to it and say, okay, man, if you're going somewhere, I'm going too. And I tell you, I did that. I did that with every single company owner I've ever worked with. And Dave has been one of those guys. I'm like, all right, dude, let's go. Let's do this. Dave works harder than probably most people that I know because he has vision and he really wants his company to last for a very long time. And, with Empower Network, it's like when people ask, how can I really achieve my dreams here? Well, you can achieve your dreams if you really look inside of yourself and make a decision like, what is it that I want? Let me share with you my reality right now. My reality, guys, is I've been traveling now for over 7.5 years around the world. I've been in the industry for 10.5, 3.5 years into it. We basically saw real estate crumbling and said, you know what, I got to make a big decision and change my life. What the heck am I doing staying in this house when I've got an online business? I can be mobile. I can go anywhere. And so I remember writing down, always writing, I'd like to be able to travel the world and not have my life based on price tags. That was something that I had written down. And I tell you, the foundation, when you have a company that is foundationally sound, that products that people do want, and you believe in, your dreams become a reality really quickly. Because you set yourself out to go help other people change their lives. And if you have such a strong connected vision and a why for yourself, then you can help other people achieve their dreams. So when I made that decision early on, I'm sitting here right now in Bali, Indonesia, which is kind of crazy because I just left Europe for we went for like a month to Europe. I was living in Panama for a year and a half, been traveling all over the world. My daughter, Hanalei, is 8 years old, and she's got more stamps on her passports than most adults. And again, I'm not sharing any of this to impress you guys. I'm sharing it because it's a vision that if you have, you can achieve it here because you've got so many people around you that have the same type of vision. Now, granted, guys, the instruction, the training, everything is here for you. You know, I think people always say, you know, how can I be successful? Things fail. No, things don't fail. The people fail. And I'm going to be really straight up with you. It's people that fail. See, you're never going to fail if you don't quit. And so any of those, you know, bad rumors of people that say, oh, this doesn't work, these models don't work, BS. I call them on their crap because it's because they didn't work. They didn't have enough vision. What we've got in front of us, guys, is so powerful. And it's a way, it's like a dream factory. It's a dream creator. And I say that because remember in the beginning how I mentioned that our programming is what sets up our beliefs, and the chain reaction begins from our programming. Starts in logical progression. What we believe determines our attitudes, determines our effects, our feelings, directs our behaviors, and determines our success or failure. Get this. Number one, think about it. Programming creates beliefs. So your past programming of I can't do this is going to create your current beliefs now. Your beliefs are going to create your attitude. So if you believe you can't do it, you're going to have a crummy attitude, right? But if you believe you can, then you will. Attitude will create your feelings. If your attitude is great, you feel awesome about stuff, you're going to feel great. You're going to express things better on your blog. You're going to express things better for yourself. Then your feelings are going to determine your actions, and your actions are going to create results. That's just how the brain works. If you want to manage yourself in a better way and change your results, then you can do so at any time. You just have to start with the very first step by changing your programming. So when you're asking yourself, can I do this? Or I don't know if I can do this, or does this thing work? Well, you can really truly create your dreams here with Empower Network because the foundation is set. We're in the information age. People want our products. They want to know what we do. They want to learn how to be a marketer, right? They want to learn how to get more eyeballs or traffic on their business, whatever it might be. It might be a business here with Empower Network as an affiliate. Heck, I didn't know how to sell things in the beginning. I didn't know. I had nothing to sell. I was like, let me find a company with cool products with a great visionary, and I'm going for it. You know, and since then, of course, we all develop ourselves, and we start to blog, and you start to learn, you see your way, and you start to define what your uniqueness can be in the marketplace. You start to see, ooh, I could do that. I'm good at this. Maybe I can create a product or write a book, right, and share it to the world. But you got to have eyeballs. You got to know how to get traffic if you're going to create your own products or have your own events or, you know, do your own thing. And that's really what Empower Network sets you up for, is total success for whatever you want to do, guys. And so for me, it's such a powerful thing. And I'm sharing this through the visions of me, through my perspective, so that you can look at yourself and write down in your paper, like I recommended that you do earlier, is what is it that I want? Is this the right company? Does it have what I want to offer? You know, the mindset of an Empower Network affiliate is just that. They really look at the mindset of a leadership, right? Really, what does it take to really become a powerful leadership? What are the attributes? And Empower Network affiliates here are truly, they have unwavering courage. They go for what they truly want. They have a very definiteness of decision. That's powerful. Someone that knows what they want and they go for it. They make a very strong plan. They make goals. They set their goals. They're very compassionate, and that's something that I do. Every time I go to an event, I see people, and it's like a big family. I have my own like little personal unstoppable tribe, I call it, and they're like my family. They are so close to me. And there's people all around, and you may not get along with all of them. You may not gel with everyone, but everyone has that unwavering, underlying reason for being here, which is helping other people be better, helping their life be better, and creating freedom in their life and for other people. That's just what we are all about. That's what Empower Network pretty much stands for. I almost think like that's the Empower Network definition. And the mindset is maintaining that consistency, that really following along each and every step like a franchise. Remember, I wanted a franchise, but I chose against it because of the investment. My goodness, the investment with Empower Network to own your own business is less than like 168% of what I was going to spend on that franchise of $300,000. I mean, since then, my goodness, I was able to make my return on investment probably in the first 60 days. Now, I will be very frank, right? The results that you hear here are not typical. And I know you've heard this before, but it's very straight up. You've got to be able to want something. You've got to go for it. You got to work for it. But you have to be able to follow a system. Dave Wood has created an incredible company and product line. Chris Jones is our system creator and one of our company owners that have created the most powerful system that allows things to be very simplified, systemified. Right? It means you still have to take the time. You have to be consistent. You have to, go through each and every step. You have to follow it. You have to blog. Heck, I still blog every day. Well, every other day now, but I blog for the first 3 years every day. You know why? It's because it helped me see what my true voice was, who I really was, and allowed me to realize the mindset of who I wanted to be as a leader for other people. I needed to be that person. And so the mindset and the activity or the characteristics really of our affiliates here at Empower Network are just that. So if that's you, this might be, hitting a really hot spot for you. You might be in the right place, if that's you. Because a lot of people will test and they'll poke. Could be you right now. You might go, I just started this thing, I want to check it out. But you're really not willing to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, then you might want to keep your job. Because as much as this is systematized and simple, right, you have to learn. You got to learn how to share your voice. You learn how to do video. You learn how to blog. Using our Kalatu blog, though, because our Kalatu blog is probably the coolest platforms that I've seen in blogging. It allows people to get set up really quickly. We've got an incredible training program and a library that walks you through each step. Heck, my mom is setting up a blog, and it's really simple to do, but you got to do it. You got to really do it. And so the foundation is here for you if that's something that you want. What I see, though, too, guys, is even if you're one of those toe tappers, I call them like sticking one foot in and having one foot out, even if you're dapping your foot in the water, you're still going to get some value because the skills that you're going to learn here, whether it's leadership skills, communication skills, marketing skills, learning how to run a business, how to structure a business, how to set up a foundational business. These are skills that you can take with all your life. All your life. These skills that you're going to get here, the education, the value of the education, and really the development of myself, not only as a mother, as a business owner, but even as a friend and as an affiliate. You learn different forms. You see other people, the way that their work ethic is, and you either go, I'm like that or I'm not like that, right? But you really see the values that you've got because, I'm about building legacy and building my future so that my daughter, Hanalei, is proud of me when she gets older. So everything that I do online and everyone that in Empower Network, those that truly care about the value and the legacy of this business, they do it with integrity. They do it with heart. They're not here to undercut each other. And guys, that is powerful. You know, when you get around the right group of people, you want to be around those kind of people that do something that is completely different than anyone else has ever been willing to do. And that, to me, guys, is an invaluable education and development that I've gotten, skills that I will take with me forever. You can't lose this stuff. This is something you're going to be able to hold on to forever. And whether you tap your toe in or you go all in or you buy your black card, we like to call it, you know, it's a skill and it's education you're going to be able to take with forever. You know, I remember when I first started in this industry, I knew nothing about marketing. I knew nothing about blogging. I knew nothing about personal development. I knew nothing about leadership. Now, take that back. I did know something about leadership because I was an athlete growing up, and, you know, I was a team player. So, of course, you know, I was a captain of the team. So you start learning those leadership skills. But the difference is, guys, back in the day, it was about competing. And as I grew up, I thought I was always competing with it was just in pure competition, always wanting to win. But as you grow up and as you become a business owner, you realize it's no longer about competition of your competitor. It's about competing with yourself. It's about being a better self each day. It's about beating yourself each day, winning each day for you, not anyone else. There's a lot of abundance in this world. There's enough people to go around. There's enough business to go around. There's enough money really to go around this world. That's why it's called currency. You know that. It's a transfer of energy back and forth. That is currency. And there's enough of it to go around. So when we start competing with each other, all we're doing is undercutting each other. So when I got started in this industry, I realized that the type of leadership that I was bringing into my business was that of a competitive athlete. And when you have a team and you work together, you look to help and elevate each other up. You're not trying to beat your team. You're trying to help them and go in their weaknesses, and you help them in their strengths. And man, to me, having a group that you can choose to work with virtually around the world, it's funny, sometimes I feel like we're like right next to each other in the cubicle, but it's in our virtual cubicle right here in our computer. I'm talking to probably thousands of you guys right now, and heck, I feel like you're right here in Bali, Indonesia with me. In reality, you guys are around the world in different countries, in different time zones, but we are still in a common path, which is to create freedom for ourselves. And that is what I absolutely adore about building a business like this and about connecting with other people that are willing to do the same thing. So you can learn the skills, you can learn the marketing, but man, the values that you're going to take with you and bring into your family are powerful. So I'm really excited that I got to share this with you guys tonight. I hope that this inspired you a bit to either take action, right, today, to join us in the company, to be at our next event that we've got coming up, to be part of this community of people that are life changers. They go for what they want, but also changing the world, the way the world thinks. I know my thought pattern was changed 10 years ago, right? My beliefs changed when my dad told me to get a job, and now here I am working as an online marketer, traveling around the world, inspiring thousands of people around the world to go after their personal dreams. It's a powerful thing, guys, to know that that's the opportunity that you have by either joining in, and you can register or join us right now, guys, by getting back to the person that actually sent you this link or the telephone number and let them know, hey, I'm ready to go. I want to get started. I'm ready for this. Let them know you're in. And you'll do that, and they'll walk you through the process. It's pretty cool. You actually walk through the process. You'll register. You'll become an affiliate. You'll get your Kalatu blog set up, and immediately you start taking the steps of getting everything set up. And it's pretty cool because, heck, when I was looking to start a business, I had to take 3 months to get a business set up and to go to trainings to set up this franchise. I'm like, wow, you literally turn on, it's like you open the key, you stick the key in, and you just start clicking away and typing in and setting up your business. Then all of a sudden, you really do have a potential 7-figure business in front of you. And when I do say 7 figures, I'm not kidding. Power Network is actually responsible in the last 3 short years for creating $13 million earners in this company in 1 year. 13 people have generated over $1 million in a year in the last 3 years of Empower Network. And they get recognized. It's pretty cool. We get recognized at our next event. So you're going to go to the next event in Orlando, and we do a $1 million ring ceremony for the next up-and-coming ring earners. We've got some powerful people here like Alex and Anna Zubrev. They just got their ring this last event, and it's incredible to see it. And they hit over $1 million in Empower Network. And it's like, wow. You know, I know that it may sound outrageous to you because you might be just looking to make an extra $1,000 or maybe $500 or $5,000 a month. But to be able to see the possibility that you can hit over 1,000 or 7 figures in a year, those are not typical results because these are not typical people, but I would assume that you're probably not typical either because you've been sitting here long enough listening to me calling in from Bali, Indonesia. There's no way you're typical if you're listening to the end of this call. I hope not, because I want to meet you because I love wild, crazy, unstoppable, non-typical people. I think we attract those in Empower Network. But we're not typical guys. We create powerful results because we have powerful dreams and visions. We use this platform. We use this training. We use the education. We use the vision of Dave Wood to just make it happen. And it excites me to know that I've been able to inspire you guys tonight. So I hope that this call has inspired you to take massive action, to be bold in your life, to join us here in this tribe, this family, this Empower Network company, and to go after it, and then to pass it on. Pass it on. When you pass it on, more will come back to you. It's just the law. It's the law of reciprocity. When you give, it returns. It comes back to you. So everyone, I'm looking to use the law of reciprocity by giving to you so that it can come back to me. Contact the person that you are connected with. We run a very tight integrity-based business. So, don't go looking for other people to work with. The person that you found, that you connected with is the right one, because you do get to join this grander old company or tribe of other people, because we're always all at each other's events. We teach each other. And we are here to help you get to achieve that goal. So everyone, thank you for allowing me, for listening to my story, for my perspective, and to help you get to that next level. My name is Rhonda Swan from Bali, Indonesia. Have an amazing night, everyone, and be unstoppable.